everyone, welcome back to Crypto Millionaires. I'm Brian, and I'm here with your essential daily dose of XRP news and analysis. If you're an XRP investor, holder, or just crypto curious, today's update is absolutely crucial. There have been some major developments around XRP in the past 48 hours, so let's break down exactly what's been happening, what it means, and where experts see XRP heading this May. First up, let's talk about the headlines shaking up the market. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has just approved 3 XRP futures ETFs from ProShares. These are the Ultra XRP ETF, which offers 2x leveraged long exposure, plus 2 others that allow both leveraged and short trading on XRP. This is a historic moment, marking the first time the SEC has given the green light for XRP-based exchange-traded products to launch in the U.S. institutional market. The immediate reaction from investors? XRP surged over 7% this week, outpacing virtually every other major coin. This ETF approval isn't just a win for Ripple. It's a sign that institutional interest in XRP is ramping up and that regulatory clarity is, at long last, beginning to settle in. Industry analysts suggest this could be a turning point for XRP's long-term legitimacy, paving the way for even broader adoption. Now, it's important to set the record straight. There's been a lot of confusion and even some misleading rumors around the so-called spot ETF for XRP. As of today, only XRP futures ETFs have been approved. A true spot XRP ETF has not yet been given the green light. Rumors about spot ETF approval have definitely contributed to recent volatility and some investor anxiety. But the approval of the futures ETFs alone is still a big step forward. So what's driving this regulatory shift? Bloomberg analysts have just raised the odds of a spot XRP ETF approval in 2025 to a whopping 85%. That's up from 65% just a few months ago. This rising optimism is fueled by growing institutional demand, reduced SEC oversight, thanks to recent legal progress, and a bipartisan appetite for more structured crypto markets. In other words, Wall Street wants exposure to XRP, and the regulators are starting to listen. But what does all this mean for XRP's price action as we kick off May? Let's dig into the numbers. XRP is currently trading around $2.29 after breaking above its 100 and 200-day exponential moving averages. A bullish technical setup that many analysts believe could set the stage for a big move. Volume has been steadily increasing, often a precursor to a breakout. The next key resistance is just above at $2.50, with a major psychological target looming at $300. According to fundamental data, XRP's market dominance has also jumped, now accounting for over 4% of the total crypto market cap, making it the 4th largest crypto asset worldwide. However, data from the XRP ledger shows that active addresses have been on the decline, now about 22,000, a significant drop from the peak after last fall's rally. Despite this dip in on-chain activity, monthly transaction volumes remain stable, indicating a healthy underlying network. Looking at investor sentiment, there's a clear sense of renewed optimism. The NUPL index, which tracks unrealized profits among long-term holders, has climbed to 0.73. That's firmly in the belief denial stage of the market cycle, meaning many holders are sitting on solid paper profits but are still cautious about taking them off the table. If that number pushes above 0.75, we could see a move into the euphoria greed territory, usually a warning that a correction may be near. For now, though, analysts see room for more upside, especially if upcoming catalysts materialize. Speaking of catalysts, all eyes are on Bitcoin as well. Historically, when Bitcoin rallies in May, altcoins like XRP tend to follow suit. With Bitcoin edging closer to $95,000, a breakout to new highs could pull XRP along for the ride, providing the momentum needed to break through key resistance. Of course, not everyone is bullish. Some technical analysts warn of a potential pullback, possibly as steep as 30 if XRP fails to break and hold above those crucial levels. But with ETF news, a surge in institutional interest, and the prospect of a spot ETF on the horizon, the medium to long-term trend for XRP looks robust. In summary, XRP stands at a major crossroads. The futures ETF approval is a legitimate game changer, increasing market legitimacy and potentially opening the floodgates for billions in institutional capital. While short-term volatility and resistance remain, the overarching trend is toward greater adoption and possibly new all-time highs if current momentum holds. That's all for today's in-depth XRP update. If you found this analysis helpful, smash that like button, share this video with your fellow crypto enthusiasts, and don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss another XRP update from Crypto Millionaires. This is Brian, wishing you massive gains. See you in the next one.